Hello. Oops. Invite. Ciao. Mm-mm-mm. I thought I was live on IG. Maybe I'm live on Facebook. Maybe we're on Facebook live. Hold on. Oop, oop, yeah, I'm on. It's on Facebook. Okay, it's on Facebook. Why is it not on Instagram? I'll be on Facebook. Okay. Ah. Oh, hello, hello. Oh, wait. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
It's
All right.
so okay. So hi, and it keeps saying, but now it's
Hi.
like 88%. So I'm not sure what that means. I'm looking
Um,
at I'm
I'm
looking at a
trying.
number that keeps changing. It keeps it hasn't hit 100% yet. Now it's like I don't know if that means
Is it
it's
99?
buffering.
Mm-hmm. It says
You
it's supposed to be like constantly. It says constantly uploading your high quality recording.
okay? So
Mm-hmm.
that is that what because basically what I'm seeing right now, right? I'm seeing you large,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm
Yeah.
seeing myself smaller, and there's a little number underneath me with the percentage points, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just fluctuating. It keeps moving. It's going from 94%. It's at 94% right now. Now it's at 99%. Now it's back at night. It's just
Okay.
it's
I think that's to keep the quality high. I think this platform, Riverside, I heard a lot about like from other creators and they use it for like virtual calls like this for the best quality. So I
you're
was like,
looking a little pixelated.
oh, uh-oh, well,
I mean, and there's a little bit of a just a slight delay, but the delay is not bad at all. But I would say you look a little like, it's like, oh, you're probably too young for this. You look a little bit like you're on a VHS tape, like from the 90s.
Okay,
Like
I know a VHS tape. We had VHS tapes.
you did, because you're so like, I know VHS, but it's just so yeah. It looks like this is. I feel like we're in the like like it's Back to the Future or something. Like you just look like from the.
Mhm.
It's a little bit like the video quality. It's just reminding me of a VHS tape. I don't. That's the best way
Mhm.
I can. So it doesn't look sharp, if that makes
O
sense.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah, it just looks a little.
I
Look at us. We're just figuring it out. Actually, no, us. You're figuring it out. I'm just along for the ride.
I like what I see in the background. I like the Christmas decorations,
Oh,
really nice.
look.
The Santa Claus.
Good. What's that? Oh yeah. Oh my God, I just realized something, that I've got Santa's legs are like spread apart. And then my little family is like in between. Well, hopefully you can't see that level of detail because it's hilarious. I just noticed.
Oh, okay, I see a little bit.
No, don't look at me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, where's my. I need a little sip. I need to get myself grounded.
Ah, what's that?
This is something I should not be drinking right now because it's after 10 o'clock in the morning. It's a little bit of coffee
Mhm.
with some chocolate caramel creamer,
O okay,
and
okay.
it's inside one of my favorite mugs that says, on the outside it says, you are an amazing woman.
Mm,
So
okay.
what's your beverage of choice? How are you staying hydrated right now?
I have some flavored water. It's like an infusion. It's far away, but
Mm.
it's like an infusion of like water and like I think it's and tea. It's like a fruit flavor, so it's really good. But it's almost that time for a coffee, so I might need to get a coffee soon.
So
Actually.
listen, I love the part one and part two of your recent anecdotal experience with one of your students, and the hair, and your
Oh
student's
yeah.
mom, his mom kind of being a part of that whole
Mhm.
education and understanding. Like it's just a concrete example of just organic, authentic um cultural cultural learning, I would say,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
cultural just awareness. And like
Right.
i
Right.
really love how you I really love how you responded very much like a teacher, right?
Of
Like,
course.
yeah, you responded from a place of wanting to help him learn, you know,
Mhm.
in the
Mhm.
future moving forward,
Mhm. Mhm.
how to approach differences.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
right. Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah, I feel like what I said in the video was that I think everything can be a learning opportunity, and so for him, I really recognize that I probably was the first Black person he saw with the afro, and so I was like, "Okay, rather than me getting offended, I can choose to educate him," because I'm like, it's not I don't think I didn't take it at heart when he said it was like the word he used was "tignasse," which was like kind of in French, it kind of means like, large and like kind of unorderly, like, a lot of
Okay.
hair that's like different things.
Like what? Oh, is it kind of like in English, like ooh, unkempt? Is
Unkempt.
that what
Yeah,
he was?
something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Mm. So not a pop. So not a neutral connotation. It's not neutral in French. That word is not like a
From
neutral. It's
from what
neg.
I know, it's a little bit like with a negative context.
Okay. Okay.
So I was
Okay.
like, okay. I did have to like research after that. I was like, what is this word? It's like
Oh, good. Good. Okay.
I was like, I never heard that before. I didn't study that in my French class. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so I chose to educate him instead, and chose to like just tell him that Black people have this type of hair, and because the way I saw it was that I could be the teacher for him, so that when
Hmm.
he gets out into the real world and he sees other people with the same hairstyle, he won't say stuff like that to them, and it goes and they're not a teacher, so they won't educate him first. rather than
Right.
being
Well, they'll
offended.
give them a different kind of education, right?
Okay, so so I was like, and then the mom, she was also supportive too. She was like,
Yeah.
telling the kid that it's okay, he can change his hair.
That
This is
says a
what he wants.
lot about her. That says a lot
Mhm,
about her parenting style. And
mhm,
so he's in good hands, right? I kind of
uh-huh,
worry about those who don't have
mhm,
parents or an
mhm,
adult in their lives like that.
mhm, mhm.
So, and I also, oop, hold on. I remembered also in your when you were sharing that story, didn't he
Mhm.
say something about his preference? And I thought that that was
Oh,
real
yeah,
interesting, like the audacity. Like I don't care what your preference is for my how
for my
what
hair,
he
yeah.
say it again. What happened? He said something like, well, he prefers it that he prefers you to wear your hair some other way,
Yeah, he
right?
said he said, "Je préfère ses cheveux normal." I prefer his normal hair, and I was like, what does that mean? Because I'm like, this is my normal hair. It was when I had the afro. I was like, this is as normal as it gets, because this is the afro, state of it. And so he was like, oh, when you have like the twists, and I think he was talking about this style
Yeah,
because I
yeah, yeah.
I wear this a lot because it's just easy to do, and I go on with my life. But I think that's what he meant by normal style, and
Okay.
um,
Oh yeah,
I,
like that's normal for him to see you that way.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
more
yeah.
that's what he's
Mhm.
used to.
Exactly, exactly,
Okay.
yeah. Like, I show up like this when he sees me, I mostly show up like this with the twists. And so, every now and then I might change it up a little bit, and he wasn't ready for that.
Mhm. Mhm. And I'm
Uh,
wondering what is the word in French for versatile? Cuz that might be a good, I don't know if he already
mm,
knows the equivalent of that word in French in his native,
mhm.
cuz what age is he? Does he
He is 7, 8, 7, 6, 7,
Oh,
7.
so he may not even know
No, no.
there, just so you know, there's a delay. Your
Okay.
your is there a delay on my end, or can you see me very clearly? Because there was just you just had like
Oh,
like it
okay.
just you froze. That's the word I'm looking for. You froze for a second. You're back now, but you froze for a second.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're
I
good.
don't think there's anything we can do about that. I think that's just the strength of the internet.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There's probably nothing. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. So no, so he's young enough where do you think it's possible he doesn't even know the word yet for versatile in French?
I think so. I think he has a lot of like unlearning to do, and his mom I think she's good at talking to him and helping him like learn more of like things that's outside of his norm,
Mm-hmm.
and she's been really good at that part. If you see me looking this way, I'm looking this way because I have like my TikTok on
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here
No
because
worries.
here you want to
It's
say hi
just
to
that I'm
people?
oh, okay. I'm just frustrated for you
Uh-huh.
because I hope, or at least, because on my end, you're
Mhm.
freezing a little bit where it's like I can still hear the audio, but then the video, your face is frozen, but I can still hear you continuing to talk and then it'll unfreeze. So but I guess my question is you're not experiencing that on your end. You're not seeing me freeze and
No,
then
no, no, I see
okay.
I see you I see you good in real time. You're good. You're
Yeah, I wonder what. Well, so then so then is it possible then that it's actually you're great and it's my connection? Is that
I
maybe that's what's going on?
I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, it could
But
be.
I do hear you well, and it's good. On
And
TikTok, it's
yeah,
good.
okay, awesome,
I'm
good.
using my phone, so it's
This
like
seems to
this.
be the theme so far for me today.
Mhm.
So far since I woke up this morning, everything seems to be the issues are all mine. like so far, it's just no, I'm the problem. Which
Uh,
is good.
mhm.
You're not the problem.
Can you see the chat here also?
No.
Oh, that's only me.
Oh wait,
Okay.
let me see. If I tap, I see I see whisper. Yeah, I'm able to use this. I can see the chat that's on this platform.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Right.
when say
So, yeah.
okay. So I think it's good because
How are
people
your
will.
folks? How are folks
And
able
my
to
family?
No,
Oh, oh,
well, no,
oh,
I mean, how are folks able to join? I wasn't, but how? Yes, how's your family
um,
too? How's
oh,
the
my
kid?
friend's been great. People can join. Well, I posted it out on my social media platforms. This
Right.
platform also links to other platforms. Is linking to the YouTube
Because
and LinkedIn and also like Facebook. So I was like, ooh.
okay, so
Mm,
but if somebody wants to join right now that I invited, because I sent when you put it on your stories this
mm.
morning, I sent it to a bunch of people through IG. But how would they? And a few people responded that they might try and like hop in. But how
Oh,
would they do? How will they do that?
they can use the. Do you see at the top of your screen? Is it like an invite link?
No,
Okay.
no.
I think actually they can use the same link that you have because it's under guests. I have two links. I have like an audience link for like people to come in, or a guest link. Here, I'll send this.
Um. Okay. So if I mess around, so all I'm seeing right now, the only option I have on the top of my screen is leave. That's
Oh,
all I
okay.
see. I just see that we've been recording for five, a little over 5 minutes. So I can see the timer, and then I can see the
Mm.
option to leave. That's it.
Okay,
Um,
let me share this link to you in the chat. That is that is the link to join and
mm,
as an audience member. So they should be able to join that way.
okay. All right. And you know what I was disappointed that I wasn't able to, because I actually have my phone propped up on my laptop right now. What my preference was is I wanted to be able to join. I was under the impression you were going to email me the link. I wanted to open up the link from my laptop so that then I would
Okay.
have the use of my phone while we're.
Uh,
Is there possible for you to email the link so that I could open it from my laptop?
okay.
Does
Sure,
that make
sure.
sense? And then that way I'll have the use of my phone and I can more easily do things that way.
Mhm.
So that
Okay,
was
one
the plan,
second.
Anthony. But we're flexible. You know how we
We're we're making it work. We're making
we
it work.
adapt. Yeah, that's just
It's
what
all
we
how are
do.
you on time? I didn't wanna like how are you
I set aside. You asked me to set aside an hour, so I'm good
mhm.
until until 11 a.m. my time, which in the evening now in France, right? You're in the
Yes,
afternoon.
it's 5:30.
Oh yeah. So okay. I don't want to distract you. I want to let you do what you're doing, but I did have something to say. So I was wondering how things are going with your personal running journey because
Oh.
I'm asking
Uh-huh.
for a reason.
Mhm.
I was also like, are you going to be in France for at least the next several months?
Oh, yes. I'll be here for a while. I'm planning on coming back to the US in the summer.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay,
Okay.
I just sent you the link to your email.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. You're gonna do a
Let's
little switch.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a switch as soon as I get your email here. This
Oh,
is
wait. Okay.
what. Okay. Oh, hold on. What is going on? What is the deal? Ha! Really, screen? You're just gonna.
Let's see that, and then boom, 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 boom. Okay.
Okay,
You know what? Did you get the? You get the? Oh, did you
not
get the?
just yet. I'm waiting for. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Got it. Okay. Just I just got the email, the link, rolling out the. Okay. So I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Da, da, da. Mm. Hello. Oh my gosh. Wow. Hold on. Okay. Let me. Hello, hello. Ooh. What's the guest link? Mm, mm, okay. Guest link. Copy link. Guest link. Audience. Stream. Audience. Stream.
Hey,
It's not letting you in. Hold on. 1 second. Uh-oh. Let me see. Okay, I sent you a new link. I sent you a link. Maybe it's because it's I see. I sent you another link that should be like the guest link. There's like an audio audience link, and there's a guest link. Oh, you can call in. Hello, hello.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Hey.
Mm. I am truly, truly, you know what? I'm just learning. I'm just learning as I go.
Okay.
If you
I'm
could,
also
there's
learning.
a lot. It was a lot just now to just get to this point. The links and then all of the permissions, and it
Yeah,
wasn't like letting me in. And I don't know if you saw any of my messages in the chat.
I
I was
saw. Yeah. Mhm.
look at you, and you're just a picture of calm. All right.
Um, I appreciate that. This is the teaching that has given me the patience.
Mhm.
I appreciate you for going through the hoops, though. That gives me good feedback because this is my first time using this platform, and
Yeah.
so
I'm not a fan so far, but
okay.
I'm not a fan yet. But maybe that's just because I'm learning it. So now let me. So I want to see, right? I thought that there would be a way for me to let people through
Hmm.
IG know that we're live now, right?
Okay.
Because I'm still confused as to like how somebody who I like shared that we were going to be live, I'm confused as to like how those people can join us.
Okay. You know what? I have a post right here. I'm going to tag you in. You can just repost that to your Instagram. And it has the link included in the. Ooh, here we go. It has the link included. Let me see.
This is
And
kind of fun though, isn't it? There's like a fun, it is like, it's like there's nothing to be stressed about. Like, why am I, there's nothing to be, let's save the stress for like things that are really worth stressing about. This is fun. Like, I'm enjoying myself. I'm
oh yeah.
enjoying your presence in my life. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, thank
I've
you.
just been speaking so much, you don't even know. I talk, when every time I mention your name or like if people are like,
Mhm.
oh, who's that? I just love that you're a presence in my life. So I'm having a great time. We're going to
Oh,
figure
I
this out,
appreciate that.
Anthony. This is not a big deal. We're going to figure out the logistics.
Oh yeah.
Um, so let me just let you do your thing and
I
send
appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Oh my
the
God. You don't
welcome.
even know. Like I was thinking about you the other day. I'm like, we are going to we're going to do amazing things together. We're already doing amazing things. There was something I wanted to tell you about too. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll say, but I do want to say, so I want to come to France. It was my point. I'd like to come to
Okay.
France before the
Okay.
summer. I wanted you to find a race for us
Mm-hmm.
to do together.
Oh. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah. Um, like April.
Okay. Okay. I definitely know that. Let me see.
Okay,
Okay.
let me see. You just sent,
Okay.
did
I
you
sent
just send?
you. Yeah. You can add it to your story,
Okay, I'm going to add to my story.
and I believe like I put a Kendrick Lamar song on. That's the
Hold on, I
latest
can't hear you over the music.
album.
I can't hear you. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
let me
listen.
turn this down so I can hear you. I'm sorry, what? What should I do?
Oh,
I should add this to my story.
yeah. I just said that I put the song on because it's Kendrick Lamar. It's the latest.
Oh, I don't need, see, this is why I love having your young, youthful energy and spirit in my life. I don't know what that is. I mean, I know you said it's Kendrick Lamar or who?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course I know, but I didn't know that anything had just dropped. I didn't realize
Mhm.
that, you know, um,
Mhm.
frankly, I'm a little surprised that you even know because you're so busy dropping your own stuff. I'm impressed
Ooh,
that you're still able to like keep up with um
you know, somebody asked me that the other day. They was like, "How are you doing everything at one time?" I said, "Coffee and prayers. That's what's getting me through. I really do. I really
I
do
know.
be like,
I
it's
know,
a
and
lot."
also like as much as we talk about mindfulness, right? Like I want to say this,
Mhm.
as much as we talk about mindfulness, there's something to be said for also, okay, man, this is probably like a very unpopular opinion right now, but I would say there's something to be said for like not being so mindful all the time. Like
Right.
there's a time for mindfulness, but there's also a time to just, you don't need to think about what you're doing, just do it.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's important to create space for being mindful, for that meditation piece, for that reflection piece, for sure, for sure. Don't get me wrong. But I do think that sometimes we can get stuck there. And
Mhm.
I just think that there's a
Oh, yeah.
time and a place for the mindfulness, and then there's also a time and a place for movement. And I think you're just in a season right now, as am I, of movement. Like, let's move. You know what I mean? Let's
Oh,
move,
yeah.
let's get the motion, and then we can be mindful about the motions that we've made, but you need to and so I think that's probably how, because if you were to stop and think about, oh, I've got this going on, I'm trying to do this, like it ends up weighing you down.
True. I was just thinking, it's really like I prioritize my time into different things
Okay.
because I do have like different like big bucket things would be like school, which is of course like number one priority, and then it's like my two personal projects with
Mm.
my brand with Anthony Abroad, and then it's also my collaboration that I have in San Antonio, and because that's
What's
also
going
like
on
another.
with San Antonio? I didn't know about that. Well, continue. What's your other, so obviously I know you're in school, you're pursuing the masters, is it?
Right,
uh
right. Master's
yep,
in
you're pursuing your
international education. Mhm.
and
And
you got a scholarship, correct?
I
Didn't you
did, I
receive a
did.
scholarship for that? Yeah. See,
Mhm.
I stalk you,
Doing pretty
um,
good.
in a good way.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
then and then Anthony Abroad is its own. I mean, there's when you say that that's a bucket, but there's so many pieces and layers to that. And so
Yeah,
you're
there's
pouring a lot of yourself into that whole world. And then I know nothing about this San Antonio collaboration. I want you to talk to me about that. What is that?
Oh, yeah, sure. So in San Antonio, I'm a part of a collaboration of men of color. We call ourselves MTalk, Male Teachers of Color Collaborative. And so our goal is to increase the number of male teachers in San Antonio, Texas, and ultimately nationwide throughout the US. And so we had our first convening on last year in 2023, but just before school started in August, and we had like over 150 teachers show up, and they were coming from San Antonio, Houston, and other parts of Texas. And we also
Okay.
had news coverage on this too. Like there was Univision and Telemundo. They were there. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to speak with them because I really wanted to. Like me being on TV was like, ah, but I didn't get to do it because I had to book my flight to go to Paris. Um,
Mm.
it didn't line match up with that. But so that event was like, and it was sponsored also by different companies, local companies and organizations in San Antonio. And so it was pretty successful. And so
Yeah,
after
you
like,
had 150
mhm,
and you had media coverage.
right.
That's a huge
And then we
success.
had we had people. So after that, we had people wanting to join our collaboration and trying and seeing what's next and stuff. And so we really like focused on like our core members and people who was really like really about moving this forward
Yeah, doing the
because
work.
doing the work, that's what it is. Because a lot of people they were there, but they was like, okay, this is a lot. It's a lot to like, that was fun. It's a lot. So long story short, we're now like a
Mm.
team of four. We started off with like 15. But that's neither here nor there. We're like a solid four. Solid. Okay. And
Yes,
so
doing the work.
exactly. So with us, what we doing right now,
I
is
know
we're
exactly what you're talking about, so
yeah.
continue. But a lot of people want,
Mhm.
yes. Hmm. And then,
Right.
and then those people are going to want to circle back once you have funding and clout and
Mhm.
all that. Then all of a sudden, it's wanting to. Yes, we. That's
Mhm.
a whole other conversation that we
Okay.
maybe could have offline.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Continue. Continue.
So So now we're a solid team of four, and we're trying to really build ourselves on our presence on social media, and we're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes and really establishing our brand and our presence behind the scenes, setting up stuff to really like officially launch in next year. But yeah, that's a whole thing that's like separate to like everything else I have going on, and I
Yeah.
chose to be a part of it. I could have been one of the people who were like, no, this is a lot of work, and especially because I moved to a different continent. I could
Country.
have did that
Yeah.
too, but for me, it's like the mission speaks volume. The mission of it, and when you say being a part of something that increases the male teachers of color in the U.S., knowing that it's 2% of the population that are male teachers of color, and I get to be a part of changing that narrative, I'm like, why not? I'll
Exactly.
be in France. I'll be away, but I still do what I can do from a distance. And that's what I do. Like I do what I'm doing right now is more so making the brand, the colors, which is interesting because with Anthony Abroad, I'm like building that already. I'm building my
Hmm.
own brand and my own colors and different things like that. But also with M Talk, it's like I'm doing the same thing with them too. So it's like kind of like growing two brands at the same time. And this is
Hmm.
really interesting because oh hey Javi, hola. One of my students are in the are on TikTok. Is one of my students. Hey Javi, I'm talking. We're talking.
Saludos.
We're talking with Valerie. We're talking with Valerie. Here she is. Oh, I know
What
this is
is
how we
going
are.
on?
This is how we are right now because TikTok is being a little weird.
Oh.
In case you're wondering why I'm streaming separately from TikTok, it's because I have a MacBook.
Okay.
Because TikTok, for some reason, like you can't stream from the MacBook. If you have like a MacBook, not a Windows, you can't like stream directly, like from your
Mm.
laptop. You can do it from your phone, which is what I'm doing, but you can't do it like, So I'm like, that's weird.
Okay.
So I'm working around that. So
We're just working around things. We're just working around
that's
things.
what we are.
So that's
And Valerie, Valerie, like in months time, like we can only get better, right? We can only get better.
yes, actually, and I want. I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
said something a couple minutes ago about branding and like that the group that you're part of with this collaborative in San Antonio, how you're doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. You're going to do this big launch. Um, because you have to, you're doing things with the brand. And you were making me think about something that I heard within the last, I want to say within the last couple of months. And for me, it was very powerful. Um,
Hmm.
I heard someone talking about how you don't create the brand and then do the work. You start doing
Hmm.
the work and you build the brand from the work that you're doing.
Ooh, did I hear the same thing? Wait a minute, did I hear the same? Do you
Well,
listen to
I just
podcasts?
paraphrased. Those were my own words, but that's what I took away from the
Heard that.
person who, so whoever it was that I heard speaking, I think it was a
Uh,
reel or something of that nature. That was my takeaway. Those weren't her exact words, but my takeaway was you don't you don't build the brand and then get to work. Get to
mhm,
work and the brand will come. The brand will start to solidify and start to materialize and start to take shape
mhm,
as you engage more deeply in the work that you want to have happen.
mhm.
And
That's
so I found
crazy.
that
Yeah.
actually at the
Mhm,
time that I heard it at the perfect moment because it
mhm,
helped me kind of take the pressure off of myself a little bit and realize that the entire brand of whatever it is that I'm trying to move forward, whether it's with Tumbao Bilingual Books or myself as a person, that I don't need to have everything figured out in terms of the branding. You want to have
right?
some basic pieces, right? You want to be able to have people get a sense of who you are and what you really care about. But
Mhm,
when you were talking about that, that's what that made me think of, Anthony, when you were saying how you, with this collaborative, that you all are trying to get some things solidified with the brand before you kind of do this big, launch next year. And that was what I was thinking about is like, you've already launched.
mhm,
Whether or not
mhm,
you realize it, you've already
mhm.
launched because you're already doing the work.
Oh yeah. True, true. That's true.
And so the brand will
Um,
just build. The brand will
mhm,
keep building as you just continue to do the work.
mhm.
Isn't it
Yeah.
exciting? I don't know, for me, it was like a mental shift that I
Mhm.
needed at that moment that I heard it to help me feel better about my progress, to help me feel, I felt uplifted. Because I was like,
Right.
you know what? I'm already the
Mhm.
brand. I'm already doing the I'm already doing the work.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and that's so funny because I feel like I heard the exact same things that you said. I was like, that's what I was wondering if we heard the same, like you listening to podcasts and we heard the same
Maybe
podcast,
we're just
you know.
hanging out in this really cool echo chamber that we've created for ourselves.
Okay.
Which is
So, okay, so I want to get in, I do have a few questions that
really?
I
Oh wow.
kind of yeah, that I kind of saved from different places.
Okay. Okay.
So one person wants to know.
Yeah, let's get it. Okay, what do they want to know? Hold on a second.
No, okay, that was too dramatic. Okay. But okay, so
Why
one
would
person
we?
want to know, what's one piece of advice you would give someone looking to move abroad but is feeling hesitant? They're feeling scared, they don't know what to do, but they want to travel. What could you take say to them?
I mean, I'm curious as to what you're scared of, right?
Mhm.
I would be curious about that. So, but my general response to that would be if they're scared, um, to get over it, just
Mhm.
go ahead and do the scary thing. That's my short. That's like my quick sort of like that's okay. That's
Mhm.
okay. Like feel the scariness, feel all the fear, feel the fear. It's
Mhm. Mhm.
okay. It's okay to still act upon it even while you're scared.
Right. Do it while scared.
Do it while
Yeah.
you're scared.
I
It's
think
okay.
there's a lot of things that people feel when they're trying to travel abroad. It's like, especially for like the first timers. I do know people who I've been friends with and they never traveled abroad. Some people have like they are scared to be alone. So I think the fact of them being
Mm.
in another country alone on top of that, like it's just too much. And then it's
Okay.
like also, well, I want to go to Mexico, but like I don't speak Spanish, but I heard it's so beautiful. What do I do? You know? So,
Yeah, that you actually really hit on something about them not wanting to be alone.
mhm.
So that's I'm curious about that. Was that is that something that you've heard people say that they're afraid
Mhm.
of being
Uh-huh.
alone in another country
Right. Also, yeah. Some
versus
people like
being alone at home
at
where
home
they
or
feel
in their city, in their own like in their city where they live,
in their
as
comfort zone.
opposed in their comfort zone, right? Yeah, as opposed to somewhere else that's new place, new culture, new vibes, new everything.
Mm,
Like that's scary for people. And for me, I had to like really synthesize with that because I was like, oh, because I don't have that because I'm really spontaneous and I'm really like,
mm.
ooh, I want to go to I want to go to
Okay.
Canada. Let's do it. Like I got the means to do it. Why not? You know, YOLO. But I know some people are like, ooh, that's scary. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to travel because I don't know. I could get kidnapped. I could do XYZ
You're
thing could
well,
happen.
okay. No. So you're making me think about something
I've,
though, about that word
I've heard.
scary and why we
Yeah.
automatically I think sometimes we automatically when the word scary makes us think bad, right?
Right.
Like, ooh, scary. Would you say that that's fair? That most of us, like, when you say the word, like, oh, I'm scared of something, or like, that's scary, it has a more of a negative connotation, doesn't it?
It does. I think so.
And
Well,
so
when you say like, yeah, yeah. I agree.
So my question would be like, why? Why,
Mm.
it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to associate the the scariness with something that's bad because
Uh,
scariness can also be something it's exciting
mm-hmm.
and having that feeling of excitement and it's a reminder that you're alive and that you still have the chance to try new things
Mm-hmm.
like studying abroad or being in an environment where everything is so different and you're going to have to be uncomfortable. It's just going to be a part of the process, but and that's scary, but it's not bad. So I think
Mm.
sometimes when we're like, "Oh, it's scary though," it's like, "Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
exciting." It's like it's for whatever reason. Sometimes though, when we say like scary, it's like, "Ooh,
hmm
no, I don't want to be scared." Well,
Right,
why
right.
not?
Why not?
Yeah, why
Be
not?
scared and have fun. Yeah. How can you can turn like the fear into something else? You can kind of channel it into excitement.
Fuel
Like,
for the journey. That's what I
mm,
would think. The fear
right.
right? Like I could, oh, I'll give you a concrete example. When you
Mhm,
said, oh, we're going to be using this, what's this platform called Riverside? You know, the platform to have this
mhm,
conversation with me today on live, I was expecting a different platform. And I
mhm,
immediately was just a little bit like scared
mhm,
that I wasn't going to be
mhm,
able to figure it out in time, that I wasn't going to,
mhm,
but it was an exciting, honestly, it was exciting too, because it's like, oh, okay, there's this new platform. And now I have this chance to,
mhm.
get uncomfortable with it and try and figure it out. And so
No,
I
I
think you
love
can
I'm
apply that to anything. You can apply that to learning a new language, travel, um,
mhm,
just stepping outside of your comfort zone in general. It's like, oh, this is scary. Woo!
mhm.
I don't know what's gonna happen. But
Uh-huh.
something's gonna happen. You
Right,
get on
right.
that plane, you get on that plane or that bus or that train or that boat. You're right. You don't know what's gonna happen. It's just
Mhm,
for me, traveling abroad, Anthony, and journeying to other places near and far that you haven't been to,
mhm,
it's a reminder, for me, it's a reminder of of how to give up control.
mm,
You cannot control everything, and I think when you travel abroad, I do feel like that's just front and center, more so in your mind, because you're realizing that you, even though you have your hostel booked, or your hotel, your accommodations, your wherever you're going to be, and you have your certain things, you bought your train tickets and that okay, you have control over that, but you don't have control over how you're going to be able to figure out the language to get from point
mhm,
A to point B,
mhm.
and who's going to help you along the
Yeah,
way, or are you going to have to figure it all out? You don't get to control that.
true. True, true, true.
But
And
you
it's
also don't get to control a lot of what's going on in your
mhm,
own comfort zone either. It's
mhm.
just heightened.
Right,
That's why I
right.
think people always, when they study abroad or they work abroad or they take a trip abroad, maybe for an extended period of time, and then when they
Mhm,
come back, I
mhm,
usually, when I talk to people, they talk about how much they grew. Usually, people talk about how they grew so much more in a shorter period of time than if they
mhm,
had been at home. And I
mm,
think it's because you are forced on a daily basis when you're abroad, you're
mhm,
forced to do so much more that makes you uncomfortable than you would if you were at home. So it's not that you can't grow in your personal growth and grow in your journey through life being at home. You can, of course, you can still grow. But when
mhm.
you force yourself to go work abroad, travel abroad, study abroad, you're going to you cannot help but to grow so much
Right.
faster, because you
Oh,
are just constantly, oh my god, this is uncomfortable, oh, I don't want to have to ask this stranger, how do I get, where's the bus stop, oh,
oh, that's
okay, I just
true.
did
Yes.
that, oh wow,
Mhm,
I survived that, okay, now let me go
mhm,
figure out how to sign up for this dance class I want to take,
mhm.
this weekend, or how do I do you, oh, now I have to go
Yeah.
to the grocery
Oh,
store,
for
but I
sure,
don't know how
for
to say these
sure.
ingredients. So
Exactly. Yeah, I
does
remember
that
when I
make
was in
sense?
Costa Rica, it was the same way, like, I had to do stuff. I had to get around, like, I needed to live in another country, and in order to do that, I had to speak Spanish, so I was like, "Okay, well, if I need to go and get food to eat to survive,
Yes. But
I need to say I need to go and I need to order in Spanish." So I have to make myself do that, and that's the beauty of studying abroad because you're forced to be in situations where you have to speak.
you're forced to, because here's what you've done, and here's why it's scary.
Mhm,
You are intentionally putting
mhm,
yourself in a position where you are
mhm,
going to have to be uncomfortable and force yourself to do things that if you were at home and you never went anywhere, you wouldn't
yeah,
have to do. And
mhm,
that's why I think it's scary, because you have to make a choice. You're saying, you know what? I'm choosing for the next week or 2 weeks or 6 months, or however your circumstances are, because even
mhm,
if you can only be abroad for a short time, you're still going to grow. You're still
right,
going to grow a
right.
lot more than you would in that
Oh, for
same
sure.
week if you
Mhm,
don't go away for a week,
mhm,
right?
mhm, mhm,
So I guess my point is that I think that, to answer that question that the person had about, like, well, what do you do if you're scared?
mhm,
You make a choice that you care more about growing as a person and becoming the person that you want to be. You have to care about that more than the
mhm.
temporary feeling of scariness. And once you
Oh,
make a decision to say like, you know what? Yeah, I'm scared. Like I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that I really want to grow. I know
Mhm.
I really have it on me that I want to become this other version of myself. You have to choose that over the scariness.
True. Oh,
You
yeah.
do.
Mhm. You know, I got a lot of people listened to the first episode, and I had got a lots of reviews. Did you listen to the whole to the thing?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. You were amazing on it. I got
It was fun.
a lot of reviews. A lot of people really, I think as a whole, people really were doing a lot of self-reflecting on themselves because I love that you would like you really hit on like mental health and wellness and how that's just so important with everything else that you do in life is just it comes back to like your mental state and your well-being as a person. So a lot of people resonated with that. A lot of people that were coming up to me and that were messaging me and like, hey, this is so cool. I love this podcast. It's so great, you know, and
Yeah.
all the nice comments.
We
And a
we
lot of the trends, we a lot of the trends was really about people doing self work on themselves, and particularly, I think it was like self-talk. That's something that I was working on in therapy
mm,
myself, which is like
yes.
how I talk to myself. What do I allow myself to do? What do I allow myself to say and different things like that. Um, and so for you, what would you say like to people who are looking to find more wellness in them in themselves? Like, what could they start? What could they turn to? What are some things that work for you
Mm. With the self-talk
with the
or
self-talk? Yep.
um
Mhm.
so for me, something that's worked really well is being very clear about how I'm choosing to use my time and who I'm allowing to have the gift of my time.
Mm.
That's been a huge kind of game changer for my overall wellness and definitely my
Mhm.
mental health. So one place to start is maybe looking at how you are thinking about your own time. Are you thinking about your time with the type of value that you should be placing on it? Which is that
Mm.
truly, other than your health, there's nothing more valuable. There's nothing
Right.
more precious. And I feel like for me, my life really started to improve when I started placing a very high value on my time, my
Mm.
waking hours, and my sleeping hours for that matter, because I got to get my rest. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But then that changed. So then, Anthony, I'm not binging on shows or spending just crazy amounts of time scrolling if I'm not scrolling for a purpose,
Mhm.
right?
Right, right.
I'm not just entertaining um text messages and conversations, and even really just conversations or folks trying to like pull me into things that are, I'm like, wait a minute,
Mhm.
I don't have time for this. I don't
Right.
have you, and
Right,
you're not
right.
entitled to my time.
Mm.
Respectfully, respectfully.
Mhm.
Now, here's the caveat to this. I also had to come to terms with the fact that I'm not entitled to anyone else's time either,
Mhm.
right? So it
Okay.
definitely goes both ways. But I would say that for me, that was a really great place to start, was starting to think differently about my time and really, truly valuing
Mm.
my time, how I'm spending my time, who I'm allowing into my space to take up my time.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. I feel like I feel the same way. People really I think the people that you spend your time with, they either uplift you or they don't. What's the quote? Here's I think this is a perfect moment to say the quote,
What?
because this is my favorite quote from you. What is it? If you don't
Oh,
grow, what is it?
if if we're not helping each other grow or helping each other glow, then I've got to go.
Exactly.
Respectfully, right? Respectfully, I have to go.
Mhm.
If
Mhm. Mhm.
because and that actually goes right back to the point I just made in my answer about valuing my time. I
Mhm.
value my time as much as I value my health, and then after
Mhm.
that would come money. But it's going to be my time and health, and
Right.
then money is secondary.
Mhm.
It's my time and my health. And so that's why, if you and I are not the time that we're spending with each other, if we're not helping each other grow right now, and it could be helping each other grow with understanding this new platform, helping each
Mhm.
other grow with just being able to better kind of conceptualize our own personal goals and our
Mhm.
professional goals. Maybe that's how we're helping each other grow, helping each other learn something, some new technical piece, or helping each other learn a new framework to support
Mhm.
our goals and our visions for our lives. Or if we're not helping each other glow, meaning, if I'm not sharing your stuff and putting your stuff out there and speaking life into what you have going on in your life, and if you're not reciprocating and sharing my things and helping me glow and speaking life and abundance into me, then I've got to go. Because
Mhm.
what are we doing? I have to go. Like,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
right?
Right,
Oh, and
right,
then
right.
and the glowing could also be I could give you this, and it's not always like, okay, we're getting down to business now. I know all the young folks talk about being in their bag, and I get that. I totally get
Mhm.
that. I
Mhm.
also would say, though, Anthony, I would submit that you and I helping each other grow, for example, that might look like how I just asked you, I don't know, maybe a few minutes ago. I think it was before, it might have been before your student jumped on for a second. I was
Mhm.
asking you about races in April
Mhm.
in France, right? Because if I
Mhm.
hop on a flight and come over to Paris, it might be forcing you to grow. If it's like, oh, Valerie's coming, I guess I do need to do. I need let me
Mhm.
train so I can do this 10K with her, this half
Mhm.
marathon or whatever. That's an
Oh,
example
yeah.
of I've entered your life.
Mhm.
We're in each other's space, but ultimately it's like I've just helped you grow, you've helped me grow, right? So
Mhm.
there can definitely be, I think, a social component to it as well.
Oh, for sure.
But I have to feel like the person who is taking up, who I'm giving my time to, I need to feel like we're helping each other grow or we're helping each other glow.
Mm. Exactly. I love it. I love it. I have hey Kiwi. My name's Kiwi says hey, hello Kiwi. I also have I have two students in here. It's funny because they it's funny because someone said, hey Anthony,
Oh,
and oh I thought, oh hi. Someone said, hey Anthony, and it's funny because I never let my kids call me by my first name.
oh,
I, I never was like, yeah, I'll call you Anthony. I was like, it was Senor Heard because I was teaching Spanish. It was
yes, Senor Heard. And
Senor.
Monsieur, would it be Monsieur Heard? Monsieur,
Mhm. Monsieur.
Monsieur, Monsieur,
Monsieur.
Monsieur
Uh-huh.
Heard.
Uh-huh.
So I'm so mad at myself because I didn't tell any of my students about this. And I bet
Mhm.
some of my
Oh,
students would have, I didn't even think about it.
oh,
I
it's
didn't,
okay. We'll do this again. We'll do this again.
we do,
Oh,
we do.
part two to what I was saying earlier about
Yes.
was like we're both growing, is that like we'll do this again. Like I would love to have you again, like
Yeah.
and then you'll be like, oh wow, like you'll see the growth from
Yes, we're
we're
gonna,
only gonna get better. Okay.
so
We're
absolutely. You're making me think about something and I was reflecting on this morning when I was at the gym, thinking about you and how I was going to jump on and do this with you. It's that a part of the journey,
Mhm.
part of the journey to get to wherever you're trying to go and wherever anyone is trying to go, you need to look to your left and right and see
Mhm.
who else is building,
Oh yeah.
who else is hungry for growth, for personal
Mhm.
growth, professional growth, who else is trying to become the best that they can be and doing
Mhm.
the work. Those are the
Mhm.
people you need to be, speaking of time, those are the people you need to be spending time with, spending time around. And
Mhm.
so I believe, Anthony, that the reason that you and I are in each
Mhm.
other's presence is because we recognized that in each other. This is somebody who is backing up their words with
Mhm.
real actions. This is
Mhm.
someone who is actively engaged in becoming. They are building, they are creating, and they are doing. And you find that attractive. I
Mhm.
don't mean that you find me, but I mean you people,
I get
other
yeah.
builders find
Yeah.
other builders attractive because it's like,
Mhm.
okay, all right, let's
Right.
grow together. Let's,
Right. Right.
you know,
Mhm. Oh, 100%. Thank you for the I appreciate that. I really see that and what I'm doing. Sometimes I feel like What I'm doing is really like faith driven. It's like sometimes I have like two things. Like sometimes I feel like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm meant to do. Like it's the feeling like that. This feels right to have a conversation with you. This feels right to be live and doing all this stuff. But then there's like the other part that's like, wow, like
The,
this is
the
like this is
doubt? What are you talking
good.
about now? The doubt, those dark moments? Are we going to get
It's
into it?
it's a little
What?
doubt, but then
Mm-hmm.
it's also like you're like the fear part of it is like, well, like I never done this before. This is my first time doing this. Like I haven't had a podcast before. I never did a live event. Like just different things is like, okay. But it
Yeah.
also feels right. Like this feels like what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna do it and we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna figure it out. It's gonna be
Yes.
great. We're gonna just
Yes.
do
Yes.
it.
And I want to
And
say something too. We were talking about self talk. Now, I
mhm,
realize we all have different things that we say to ourselves. And what I say to myself, although it may serve me well, I want to just say this before I say it. I want to
mhm,
recognize that this particular thing I tell myself that may not serve someone else well. The important
mhm,
thing is that the way I talk to myself serves me
mhm,
well. And one of the things I remind myself, Anthony, when I have those moments,
mhm,
um, when life is lifing,
mhm,
okay? And let
mhm.
me tell you, life has
Yeah.
been lifing over here in my
Oh, yeah.
element.
Oh,
What I
yeah.
tell myself, and again, this works well for me. I realize this may not work well for you or other folks. I see, you know you're gonna die, right? Like that's what I tell myself. You know all of this is temporary, right? So what
Right.
do you want to do? What
Yeah.
what do you want to do with this precious you
Mhm.
have right now? You have right now. What do you want to do? I like literally I do that. That is what I tell myself in some of my moments. And it works
Mhm.
well for me. Now I realize someone else saying that to themselves, maybe that's not going to serve them well. But it does serve me well when I'm like, you know you're going to die, right?
Yeah, like
I,
we're
I
we're on
like I just like you're gonna die.
mhm.
So what are you doing? Like
Right,
let's go. Let's
we're
go.
only here we're only here for a short amount of
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
So that and that's
Mhm.
literally like why I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to go to France and like run a race with the with Anthony Hurd. Like, yeah, we're about to do this AfroLingual Abroad, Tumbao. Like, we're gonna do it. I can already and see it. The fact that I'm speaking and the more I speak, it's going to like it's going to happen. I can literally already picture streets of like where I've
Uh-huh.
had that on my phone. Like we're live. Like here we did, and these are things that and that's how I make things
Okay.
happen. That's why I went off to Ireland by myself in May to go run a marathon all on my own in the city of Limerick. And it's like, you did
Mhm.
what? I was like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, because I'm gonna die. You know what I mean?
Because
Like, so like,
I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna die.
I'm sorry, but I mean, did I miss something? Did I say something wrong?
Mhm.
I think I'm
Mhm.
factual. I think,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
Right.
So
Right,
that's
yeah.
why I do what I choose to do, Anthony. I can't speak
Does
for
that
what
go
drives other people.
Does that go with how people say, live every day like it's your last, that
Yes.
kinda, like, phrase that people say?
Yeah.
That goes on the same par with that?
Absolutely. I want to pull
Mm,
something up real quick on my screen. I facilitated with a small group of teachers yesterday. It was what is this? Okay. I facilitated with a small group of teachers yesterday. We have these quarterly networking sessions. It's with multilingual teachers, actually.
mm, okay.
And I shared with them something that really resonated with me that
Mm,
Arthur, oh, I want to make sure that I quote Arthur Brooks,
uh,
who is a
hey, girl, hey. Sorry, that's my friend
oh
Nana. Hey!
oh yeah, yeah. Arthur
Okay.
Brooks is a professor at Harvard, and he has studied for decades the science of happiness. And so I
Mhm,
shared this with some of the teachers yesterday that I facilitate these quarterly network sessions, and they really appreciated it.
mhm,
So Arthur Brooks says, and he's done the research, he's done the science on it. Happiness is not a feeling. It's not just this emotion. Happiness is a combination of enjoyment of your life,
mhm.
satisfaction with your accomplishments, and a sense of the meaning of your existence.
Ooh.
It's a combination of the enjoyment, enjoying what you do,
Mhm,
being satisfied with what you've accomplished,
Mhm.
and feeling like your existence on this planet has meant something. That is what happiness is. And so it me and for me, why that resonated with me is because it's not about from moment to moment having this, oh, I feel happy, oh, now I'm not happy because I stubbed my toe, or because
Mhm.
somebody ran into the back of my my car and now I have to take it. Okay, so it's not about saying like from moment to moment that you're always going to have this happy feeling. It's
Mhm.
Arthur Brooks did this research, and it's this deeper sense of happiness that despite the sort of ups and downs of life, if you
Mhm.
can say that overall you enjoy what you do,
Mhm.
that you're satisfied with the accomplishments that you are making, and if you feel like your existence on this planet has mattered, that is happiness. And if you can answer every day, if you can answer the question of, why am I alive? And on this day today, is there something that I would gladly die for, that I would give up my life for?
Mhm.
That's happiness. And if you
Oh, I
don't know
love
the
it.
answer to those questions, then the work is to start. It's okay. Don't feel bad. It's not about feeling bad about yourself. Now you just need to go out in search of finding the answers for yourself. And nobody can do that work for you. Oh,
Check it. Da, 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 da. Ooh.
hey.
Hello, hello. Hello,
Hi.
hello.
Yes, I'm not seeing your video anymore, though.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Okay, hold
Yeah,
on one
it's
second.
totally black.
I see. Okay. I see. Okay, you probably can see me here. Can you see me now?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was just looking at something called No Finish Line Paris 2025. When is
Oh,
this?
you're looking at it now. Okay, you're okay.
You don't even understand. Listen, well, I would feel like that resonates with you. I don't know about you, but like
Mhm.
because of the number of things that you have in motion, that I have in motion, like I act on things um pretty
Okay.
immediately.
I know the camera, how does it look on your side? Because I was using a different camera and now is
You look
this is the
you look good. I mean, it's like it's still that pixelated,
Mhm.
and again, I think it's probably just my internet.
It could be, man. You know what? It's okay.
But you look
We're
good, like you look centered, the background is great.
okay, yeah. Oh, these are new paintings. These are new things. I don't know if you can
Beautiful.
see
I
these
love
paintings.
those.
They're like they're AI generated. They're
Oh,
like a this is like a boy and then this is like a man
okay. Did
and
you
it's
create
supposed
them?
to yeah.
Okay,
It's supposed
my
to
I
be
have to say my 15-year-old daughter who's an artist, she takes after my husband who I think I told you he's an artist and he's an art
mhm,
teacher at two
mhm.
schools. She is very anti AI
Ooh,
art. Like
AI
she's
art.
really,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
but I love it. So
Yeah.
I love that. So, but you created it though with assistance from AI, is that correct?
Yeah,
But like
yeah,
you are the
mhm.
architect of them. So tell me
Right.
about them. There's a little boy and then the man that you're becoming.
Exactly. That's you see that's the vision. That's what it is. You can't I wish you could see it better on the thing.
And look
Um,
at the skull behind me. My husband did that.
¿Estás en Día de los Muertos?
No, he didn't do it for Dia de los Muertos. He just did
Okay.
it just so that I can constantly remind myself that we're gonna die.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I look. This is who I am, right? And
Mhm,
I think that is why I do what I do, and I do so much of it is because And I'll say something. I think there's many people that instead of embracing that, they
mhm.
run from it.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
they run. Oh,
Oh, ooh, wait, hold
just
on. Here
lost
we
your
go.
video again.
Here we go. Here we go. We're good. Mhm. Okay.
Just lost your.
They
Okay,
run
you
from
back.
it. We're back.
You're back. Okay.
Mm,
But anyway, so that's just my thing. I think a lot of people run from that,
mhm.
And I choose to, and my husband to a large extent as well, we both do. We choose to run to, it's not that we're running towards it, we embrace it, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I like
Um
that concept. I like the idea behind it because it is real. It's true. It is,
yeah.
yeah.
It's,
uh,
I mean, and so there's no, and look, I'm not trying to say that, I mean, because I think it's a part of the human experience. Of course, I have those moments of, oh God, you want to, if you want to call it panic or just, scary, all of that. But I will say overall, though, I tend to embrace the concept, and that is why I pack so much into my days. That is
mhm,
why my days are very full of,
mhm,
to go back to what the professor at Harvard says, my days are very full of doing things that bring me enjoyment, that give me a sense of satisfaction, and
mhm.
that give me a sense of my existence on this planet has had some meaning. So that's why my days are so full, because I'm very cognizant of the fact that that's a reality. What you see
Mhm.
behind me, that's the reality. And so it gives me a sense of happiness, like filling up my days with
Yeah,
things
okay.
that bring me enjoyment, like talking to you and interacting with Anthony abroad, and you know what I mean, in France, and this brings me enjoyment and satisfaction. It does.
Alright, that's
Otherwise,
awesome.
I wouldn't be doing it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Likewise, likewise. I think a lot of people can really, from the reviews that I got from the first episode, as I said, like a lot of people really benefit from what you have to say about when it comes to language learning and how you are changing the narrative in based off of what you have experienced with your business, with Tumbao Bilingual Books, and how that goes into like language learning. And that's something that I really loved, and when I saw you and I was looking through different people's profiles and trying to see who can I have a conversation with, and when I discovered you and I read your story, I was like, "Oh, wow, like, this woman, like, I have to meet her. She sounds incredible, she sounds amazing." I love
Yeah,
everything that you present about just the need that there is to have more representation in classrooms, in different spaces for language learners, and that's definitely something that I am pushing for to change in myself and what I do, my content, my whole being. And you shared something that's similar, so I was like, okay, this is
yeah,
why
yeah.
for me it's a good to get in touch with you.
So
Mhm.
listen, I was just, and let me just say, it's ongoing. I
Mhm.
was just at a large conference,
Mhm.
with, I was just recently at a large conference within the last week, that the target audience was bilingual teachers.
Okay.
And within that large conference, there were certain spaces where I did not feel, I've had the same feeling that I had when I first entered the field of bilingual education. But
Mm.
now I'm a lot wiser,
Right. Okay.
right? But it was a familiar feeling. I did not feel welcome in the
Mhm.
space. I
Okay.
didn't feel included. I
Mm.
didn't feel a sense of belonging.
Mm.
Um, and I
Why
think that,
why was that, if I can ask?
well, where I
What
don't,
why was it that you didn't
oh,
feel.
why? Um, there was a sense of, so let me tell you one subtle thing that I've experienced. I don't know if you've experienced this. Have
Mm,
you ever entered into a conversation where there's bilingual teachers speaking in Spanish,
mhm.
and they're educators and they're speaking to each other in Spanish about something? You enter in and you also start speaking in Spanish, and their responses to you are all in English.
Ooh, yeah, mhm.
And you're
For
talking
sure.
about, están hablando de algo al nivel profesional, acerca de la enseñanza,
Sí,
estrategias que puedes implementar en el salón con
sí,
los estudiantes,
sí.
y entras a la conversación, a la plática, o sea, son maestros, son profes que están
Ujú,
platicando acerca de, pues, el aprendizaje,
sí.
y estás en una conferencia, en una junta, en una reunión profesional, y
Ujú,
ellos están hablando en español entre ellos. Y luego
mm,
cuando tú entras a la conversación, a la plática, y tienes algún comentario y lo
ujú,
dices en español,
ujú.
luego te contestan en inglés.
En inglés.
Yeah.
Mm,
And so
mm,
here's what I do now when that happens. I
mm.
call it out in the moment.
Ooh.
I mention it.
Do you
I
say it,
say,
¿También en español o en
En
inglés?
español, o sea, como ahorita, como de repente digo, pues no entiendo por qué no me hablan a mí en español, porque apenas ustedes estaban platicando en español acerca de tal
Sí,
cosa
sí, ¿por
y
qué
pues,
cambiaste?
¿qué pasó?
Ajá.
Y digo así, ¿qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó? ¿Por qué cambiaste?
Ajá,
Ajá.
yeah, and I just, and I did, I that's just an example of like, I'm no longer going to ignore what I perceive as a microaggressive behavior that
Mhm.
I'm perceiving is intended to make me feel like I'm not a part of this.
Mm. Do they
Even
ever
though I
talk
am
to you?
quite demonstrably showing that I am
Right.
a part of this space. I am
Mhm.
showing up in this space as a bilingual professional,
Mhm.
just as you are. And I
Exactly.
want you to know that I
Mhm.
notice that you're speaking to each other in Spanish about the profession, about, teaching and learning, and that I want you to know that I'm
Mhm.
clocking
And I
that
clock
when
it.
I am trying
Mhm.
to enter the conversation, also showing my
Mhm.
competence, that you
Mhm.
are choosing to not respond to me in
Mhm.
Spanish. And I
Mm.
just want you to know that I notice. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And
I see
even
that.
that is, in
Mhm.
my mind, that's powerful. I'm applauding myself because 15 years ago, I wouldn't have done that. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have done. Heck, let's just be honest. 5 years ago, I might not have done that.
Mhm.
But allow me to introduce this version of me into
Mm.
this space. And here's what we're not going to do. I'm not going to ignore what
Mhm.
I perceive as micro behaviors that are excluding me from this
Mm.
professional space. I'm not going to do that anymore. I refuse to do that because there are too many people behind me that I want to see come into this space as a profession, and I want them to feel welcome, and I want them to feel that they belong in this space.
Oh, I love that so much. I feel like when you recognize that like your actions and your lived experience is something that's bigger than you, and you're there, you're showing up as yourself, and it's important to be your true and authentic self in that moment, but also realize that other people, you can be a vessel to inspire other people just by you speaking up, just by you being yourself and being in present in that moment and choosing to tell them, hey, like I speak Spanish too, so, like, why we changing? Like,
Mhm. Mm,
también hablo español,
mhm. Eh, eh,
and that's why I'm here.
mhm.
Right. Mhm.
Mhm. It's just, yeah. I'm just we're just and
Uh-huh.
so, and I think the thing is that I think, I don't know, for different reasons I might not have spoken up before, but I just want to say something because I want to say it. I
Mhm.
think part of my hesitancy in the past was that I was too worried about being perceived in that moment, if I spoke up, as being perceived as an angry black woman.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if I didn't say it with any anger behind it, just simply
Mhm.
just saying like, por qué empezaron a hablar en inglés? Porque yo también vengo aquí para poder,
Mhm.
pues para poder practicar mi español, porque
Mhm.
todos somos docentes de español y tenemos
Mhm.
que mantener nuestro nivel de español para poder ayudar a nuestros niños bilingües. Y no
Mhm.
entiendo por qué de repente cambiaron cuando yo empecé a hablar con ustedes en español. No entiendo. O sea, ¿me
Interesante.
lo pueden explicar?
Ujú, sí. Mm.
And it's, and I was worried about like, and it's like, well, why would I be worried about that?
Yeah. Mhm. What did they
Why was that a concern of mine? It's not my concern. You
Mhm.
know, when I know that I'm being peaceful, I'm being professional, that's your issue to deal with, that you believe that I'm
Mhm.
an angry black woman. And also, sometimes I do get angry, and I am a woman and I'm black.
Mhm.
So I don't know, and you're who you are, and anger is a part of it's a part of the range of human emotions.
Mm.
So I'm not always angry, but sometimes I'm angry. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Of course, I'm always a woman and I'm always black, and
Mhm.
sometimes, a veces, no siempre, sometimes I'm angry.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm silly, sometimes I'm irritable. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Right,
know
it's
why
like,
we,
"Don't put me in the stereotypes, don't put me in boxes."
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm,
I guess when you think about it, it's intended to try and it's intended to try and force you to not be your full self. That's
mm,
what I believe about that stereotype. It's
mhm,
trying to force a behavior. I feel like that's what that's trying to do. It's trying to put shame on something that's very normal. It's very normal to at times feel angry. There's
mhm.
nothing wrong with that. It has nothing to do with what you it does that make sense?
Oh, yeah,
And
perfect,
and that's
perfect.
where that
Mhm,
stereotype comes from because it's like, has
mhm,
anybody ever asked, well, why are they so angry?
mhm. Well, I already saw Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
enough of that. But does that mean, you know what I mean? It's
Oh,
just
yeah, yeah.
like, you know, let's get into it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and
Mhm,
I've arrived at a point where I'm not going to just let something, I'm like, okay, since you brought that up, like, okay, let's get into it. Let's really explore that. Let's get curious about, like how you did with your student, Anthony. Like
oh,
how you
yeah.
did with your student. Instead of you getting, you like, let's get curious about this. Let's try and, uh,
Mhm. Yeah.
disentangle
Mhm.
my
Let's
hair
unpack
and why you
and
said, yeah,
educate. Yeah.
yeah.
That was very much a teaching moment for
Yeah,
sure.
but it's okay. It does get exhausting though, doesn't it?
Oh,
And I think
yeah.
it's okay to acknowledge that sometimes it is a little bit tiring to have to do
Mhm,
the extra teaching that maybe other people don't have to do. It's okay to say, I'm a little tired right now. I don't feel like teaching this right now.
mhm.
I'm gonna give myself grace and I'll come back to this when I feel like it. Right now I need to feed my spirit a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely listening to yourself and seeing what's best for you in the situations. I definitely do feel like there's a lot of times where I have to go the extra mile when I don't have the extra mile to go to. I'm like, "Dang, why me?"
Yeah.
You just have to.
Because it's assigned to you, but some things are not assigned to you. Do you know what I mean? So I think
Mhm,
with my age, I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting a lot more wisdom about knowing what's mine to pick up and
mhm,
what's mine to just, I can just clock it.
mhm,
I could just clock it and I'm just going to keep moving. I don't need, it's all of these things are not assigned to me. What is assigned to me?
mhm. Right. Well,
Well, this was
I think
great.
I know that we have, I think we're way over time that we scheduled for this, but I always like talking to you. I really do.
Me too.
You're such a light and such, like you said, I feel like you're very like-minded. We share a lot of that entrepreneurial passion for change, and I love that it's rooted in language learning and representation because that's something that I feel we both share at the same time.
Yeah.
And I love that you bring this wellness piece to it, and it's all in episode 1. And if people wanna find out more about you, what you have to offer, more
Mm.
things, where should they find you?
Come find me. Where can you find me? You can find me on my website, which is tumbaobooks.com, right? Tumbaobooks.com. You can find me on Instagram. Tumbao Bilingual Books is on Instagram. And then me personally, I'm on Instagram, Valerie Butron Adelante. You can find me
Mm.
on LinkedIn too. I'm on LinkedIn. Yep. Yep. All good stuff. You're going to be able to, you can find me maybe in Paris in April.
Oh.
Runs in, so you may find me on the streets of Paris in April 2025. Ooh, that one looks good. All right. Well,
You're
we will
saying
be in, I just found
you're
I,
looking at different races
yes,
that
I am. Yeah, for April.
for April.
So, for April 2025, I was actually just, I was looking right now and something just popped up for Sunday, April 13th in Paris, France. It's the Schneider Electric Paris Marathon Charity Races. It's the second largest marathon on the planet over a flat course in one of the most iconic cities, the Paris Marathon. Yeah.
Oh,
And it's Sunday, April 13th. in
Okay. Well,
Paris.
we might be running Sunday, April 13th in Paris. Okay.
Because you're training, right? Or
Um,
you've been running,
I'm in
right?
the gym. I'm in the gym doing weightlifting and
What you
things.
doing in the gym though,
You
Anthony? You're
know,
like, I'm in the gym. A lot
I'm
of people are in the gym. What are they doing?
I do like weightlifting mostly and cardio days. I am running on the cardio days, but more so like last cardio day I was doing more like high intensity workouts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um I could probably do a little more training for April if
If you, okay.
if
I'll
we
look
do
for
that.
some other ones too, because maybe not. I was thinking maybe more like a half marathon.
Okay, maybe something that's beginner friendly.
Right, like so a 10K or a half.
Okay. Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
but how often are you running? That'll
Um,
give me a sense of like,
like per week
yeah, like how
in a
many days.
week?
So if you look at like the course of like 7 days, how many of
Oh,
those days are you running, and for how what distance are you doing on the days that you run?
oh, okay. Sound like a personal trainer.
Well, no, I'm
Um,
not a. I am a certified run coach, but
uh,
I'm just asking because I'm just trying to. Yeah. Oh, I thought you knew that. Um, but I just want to get a sense of what you're doing right now. So how many days a week do you run when you're in the gym?
I would say it's like 2 times a week, and they're
Oh,
like 30 minutes a piece,
okay. Nonstop.
nonstop. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're doing that twice a week right now
Twice a week. Mm-hmm.
for 30 minutes. You run that. Okay, so if we could get you up to, if you could do 4 runs,
Mm-hmm.
do four
Four
runs a
runs.
week, 30
Okay.
minutes nonstop on the treadmill. I
Mm,
would feel good. I'd feel better about you enjoying yourself with
okay.
me running like a half marathon.
Okay.
I need to get you up to, if you could just
Okay.
try and hop on the treadmill 4 times a week for
Mm,
30 minutes, consistent
okay.
running, don't stop. And you don't want to be full out, like you should be doing that like at an easy pace, where like if I were next to you on the treadmill next to you, you and I could
Mm,
still have like a little bit of a conversation. That's the pace that you want to be doing that
okay.
at.
Okay, wow. Okay. You know what? Like this gives me like a goal in mind, and for
I
me, it
know.
really works best when I have like, okay, this is the goal. I need to be at this point at this date. Okay, let me work. Let me start working for that. And then it's the new year, so like new year, new resolutions and stuff like that, new
Oh,
goals.
I don't do. I just work. I know everybody's all like, oh, I'm still like. Can I just
Mm-hmm.
let me just grab this real quick? Let me just show you real quick before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's okay. Have you seen this before? I told you I have a double. I think we talked about this before. I have my double-sided. I
Oh.
created this in December of 2023, and frankly, I'm not going to make a new one for 2025 because I'm still working it. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
working but I want it. So here's a plane. I'm
Okay.
coming to
Oh.
you. Face anything. Smile. That's my
Mm-hmm.
husband. That's my daughter. What else we got on here? I was never ready for this. Um, committed to a beautiful future. Uh, I've learned to stay true to myself.
Mm.
Free, libre,
Libre.
free
Mm-hmm.
because I'm free. And then so it's double sided. So then on the other side is really focused on my company and the business, but it's all in the same. So that's my partner, Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Guzman. Uh, every breakthrough begins with a series of questions.
Mm-hmm.
We got the shoes, we got wellness, we have the cover of the very first book that our company published.
Mm-hmm.
My future is bright. And look at this, Anthony. Look at this word. What does that
Fearless.
say?
Fearless.
Yeah. So I don't need to. You know how people are like, oh, fortunately for me, this manifested in 2024, and it's
Mhm,
just gonna. I'm not gonna redo anything. You know how they say if it's not broke, don't fix it. I
mhm.
I feel very grateful and I feel very proud of the fact that I don't need to make a new. This is just. This is
That's
what it is. This
uh-huh.
is. Do you know what I mean? Like this is what it
Mhm,
is. So I'm
mhm.
just gonna keep working this,
Keep working. Okay.
and I'm getting on the plane, and I'm
Yeah.
coming to Paris.
Woo!
And before it loses my train of thought, what I really want to do is I wanted to just go ahead and try and identify a race, so I have a date, also so I can check flights. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm,
Does that make
mhm.
sense? I just wanted to, and you're in Paris, correct?
Yeah.
So it would
Mhm.
be best if the race were in Paris.
Mhm.
You're like, this
Oh,
woman is really doing this. And I'm like, yes, I am.
no, no, it's okay. Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
it's
really
good.
need to, 4 times a week on the, so it's like, Anthony, you're probably thinking, okay, so what do I need to do? You need to start running 4 times.
2 times a week. Okay.
You 4 times a week. No,
Mhm.
seriously though, you'll feel really good then. Like
Mm.
you'll be more than, because I can tell obviously you're already fit and in
Mhm.
good shape. You know, you're not carrying a lot of, you're not carrying a lot of extra weight. So you should be fine. You should
Mhm.
be fine to complete like a half marathon with me. No problem.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. All right.
Will your partner be there cheering you
Uh,
on?
yeah,
Or
he could be there.
do you
Or
think
we
he'll
could
run it with us?
he could. We could both be training together. We could both do that. If I tell him that this is the goal, this is what we're gonna do, he can be like, "Oh, okay. Well, you know."
That sounds like my husband. That sounds like, oh, okay. Yeah, because I think that's what really works best when one person is just kind of the, this is what we're doing, and then the other person is kind of along for the ride. No, I'm just kidding. But like,
Right.
well, we'll be celebrating 20 years of marriage in 2025. So I do
Oh,
feel like I have something to stand on when I speak, about at least
mhm,
what has worked well for us
mhm,
is we
mhm,
just really fully support each other. And he, that has been really great for our marriage. Is just we go through ups and downs, but we truly, you know, everything I've said to him, like, hey, I want to do this. This is on my spirit and my soul. I
mhm,
want to get this done. He's like, do it. And same thing with him, with his art and the things that he's doing in the art world. I'm just like, do it. And I
mhm,
think that's why we've achieved as much as we've achieved together, is because we've always just supported each other's the visions that we each have for our lives, you know,
mhm,
and never feeling threatened by that, but really just wanting to cheer each other on, because he knows at the end of the day, I've got him and he's
mhm.
got me.
Okay. Yes. Love it.
Yeah, so I want that for you. So I'm so
Love
happy
that.
you
Love
found your person. And I am just,
that.
I
Oh, yeah.
love love. And I love
Mhm,
seeing people be in love.
mhm,
I
mhm.
do. I really do. I'm that person that's like,
Beautiful.
all right.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so I will be in touch with you about the race.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. Let
As
me
soon
know.
as I find, well, for me, what would work really well is a weekend in April.
Okay, that sounds good for me. Mhm,
So the only thing that would inhibit that is just like if flight prices are astronomical for April,
mhm.
I'll circle back and let you know. But first
Okay.
things first, I'm going to try and find an a race in Paris in the month of April.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
exciting.
Well, I
Okay.
hope you have a great evening. It's still morning over here. It's 11:42 in the morning.
Here it's almost 7 o'clock p.m.
Okay. So I will let
This
you.
was fabulous talking to you as
I
always.
know. I know. So Merry Christmas. But I'll be in touch. I mean, I'm gonna try and find this right now before I move on
Okay.
to the next thing. But we
Okay.
will be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you
Merry
for inviting
Christmas.
me for
Happy
this.
New Year.
Thank
Yes.
you. Okay, we'll be in touch soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Oh my God.